dear, oh dear. We've got to create a church of streaming, Gilly, so that we can, every Sunday we can go to church and pray to the streaming gods. Because really, I know, man, a lead, I mean, can you Adam and Eve it? He's at about 14,000 feet already. Nice line. A couple of Yanks in there. Turkish. On my phone it's not. That's nice. Saudi a 777 like that. Big heavy triple. Just had Mr. Big fly over, folks, in his private jet, heading to, what was it, Luton or Stansted? Stansted! Luton. Lord Geeker landed 10 minutes ago from Manchester, due on BA 217 at 12:35. Middle seats though, so no shiny light. No, that's not on your phone though, Gilly. That's not on your phone, mate. That's not. No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, but look at the actual physical evidence. Just go on your phone and look at the YouTube. Sharon Case, good morning. Currently on train to Houston. No doubt my signal will dip in and out. Terry Stapley. Hey, listen. Refreshed, Terry Stapley. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, obviously a few people joining right from the get-go. Got the wrong in the wise old ways of YouTube and basically technical interference and issues and stuff like that. You'll see that the thumbnail is completely wrong on the we're trying to change it now, so that's a glitch on YouTube's part. Yeah, Android is still in work in progress, folks. We're doing all we can, man. We're doing all we can. You know, iOS is very, very simple. They've had like, well, they're just very easy to work with. Android keeps updating and updating and updating, so we need to work on it. Hey, listen, you know, I was looking back at some of the footage yesterday, and first of all, I was absolutely blown away by the clarity of it. I've got to be honest with you. But all of that worked so well with the chat that we were having on the feed. All the aviation chat from technicians and pilots and people giving me feedback, who are just Googling stuff for me so that I can get the lowdown on things, and I really appreciate it. And some of them I missed. Let me just. Yeah. The humming of the Trent 800. Screaming Emu, one of our resident pilots, made a point, and a very valid point, and one which I didn't see, which basically said that it's a resonant frequency. In other words, it's sort of like it's created by the rotation, I'm guessing, of the... you get it sometimes, don't you, when it's like that idle thing going on, but not Eric Idle, obviously. Shut up, big nose. Who threw that? He did, she did. Resonant frequency. So obviously a very small amount of sort of like imbalance there would create that, I would imagine. Unless it's something that the fan blades just create, or when it's at idle or something like that. But always very interesting. Airbus mentioning on the show the other day about how impressed he was flying on the Hawaiian A330 the other week or whenever it was. He said he's primarily a Boeing guy, but how he was very impressed with flying on the A330. See, you don't know it till you try it, and to be honest with you, they're all much the same, aren't they, the wide bodies? Once you're on it, it's all about the cabin layout and the interior seating itself. The flight itself and the comfort of it, you know, as a real av geek, you do definitely notice the engine note on takeoff, that's for sure. But once you're in the air, you're throttled back and you're cruising. There's very little to tell between the two. Like if you were flying on a Boeing 737 or flying on an A320, if it was a 737 MAX, you would hardly notice the difference. Maybe a slight difference in the window size, or but it is down to, really, to be honest with you, mostly down to the operator themselves and the interior, the fit out of the cabin. KLM 737. Here we go. This is one of the NGs, next generation pre-max. Probably a 900, I would imagine, or an 800 or something like that. I think the 900s are quite long ones, aren't they, that we see in the US with American and United in it. There's lights on them. Taking the phone, please. Basically shows it. So again, I have to say, folks, if I miss your comment, you know, please don't take it personally. It's just that obviously during this time when I'm filming this aircraft right now, the comments are sort of like moving very fast. I miss people who join the channel as well. You know, a very warm welcome to everybody who does join, but please don't take it personally. Not 1X, because there was 1X, wasn't there, didn't it? Wow, really? Wow. Miss Wings is a new member. Welcome, Miss Wings. Talking of Trent 800s, I think this is a Trent 800 powered American 777. Quite calm conditions. Yeah, here we go. Android issues, folks. It went out to like 15,000 iOS operators yesterday and 500 Android. Yeah. So this time tomorrow, folks, I'll be hopefully about an hour into my flight to Seattle. Big booming 777. Yeah, you're going to get random ones, aren't you, mate? It's like that flipping alert thing that we were supposed to have, wasn't it? Yeah. On the 3 network. Really? Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. Very high cloud. I reckon that's at least 6,000 feet, is it, maybe? Yeah, that would be definitely worth it. No. Check the wheels tilt, check the carriage tilt. What's that going out of focus? You would be able to see if the flipping camera was in focus, wouldn't you? Blooming heck. That's a festival of creativity, isn't it? Is it? Oh, that's one world. She's screaming, man. Look at that. Yeah. Fifth. Oh, June. Sorry. Yeah, June. Yeah, onwards this year. Sam Robson. I think that might unfortunately clash with my once a year vacation overseas. Well, I say overseas, I'm down to flipping Spain for a golfing trip. So Sam, I'm sorry, I probably won't be around. I think that date sounds very familiar, and I think that's the date that I'm going to be away. I think I'm going to be doing a Sunday show beforehand. Flipping hell, it's freezing up here. It's ridiculous, mate. Oh well, set me up for Anchorage. Oh, there'll definitely be snow on the mountains, mate. There's snow on the mountains till flipping June or whenever, or actually all the way through the year as well, I think, at the tip tops of the mountains anyway. A little bit of confusion surrounding the Everts gig, folks. I'm not sure that it's going to happen now, but don't worry, don't panic. Permission to speak, sir. Very well, Jared. Come along then. Well, sir, on the Monday before I fly, I will probably get myself out there because it's very difficult to sleep I've got to be honest with you. Well, it's not difficult to sleep, don't get me wrong, but it's difficult to sleep in. In other words, when I'm somewhere like Anchorage, by about 4 o'clock I'm up and awake and alert. So I might as well, you know, I have to wait a few hours for the sun to come up, but interesting. Does anybody notice anything interesting with that shot there? Let's see who comes up with it. Come on in, let's just see if anyone comes up with it. I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to get it right. Great weather in Anchorage, looking cold and wet for the weekend. You know what? I don't mind that too much, folks, because it's nothing like seeing heavy aircraft landing in wet weather, is there? Let's face it. Depends on wind direction, what operations they're on, and so on and so forth. But Steve Parker rewatched all the Anchorage shows over the weekend. I'm buzzing for this weekend now. Brilliant, Steve. Diane78, Carl Hanlon, Emily on the past several broadcasts. I've kind of noticed London Heathrow is kind of landlocked. Is there any room for expansion? Not really, to be honest with you. There's a pad, other than, you know, in terms of expanding it for extra runways. There's obviously an ongoing application to put a third runway in there. But to be honest with you, since COVID, I think the money's run out, and not only that, but there's a big dispute going on with the airlines in terms of how much it costs to operate out of London Heathrow, and as a result of that, we're seeing some airlines leave London Heathrow and start their operations down at Gatwick, which, you know, it's not a good thing to be for that to be happening. Mark Sturdy gifted a Big Jet TV membership. Thank you. No. Jan Clark, Wednesday 18th of July. Don't know, Jan. We don't know our schedules until literally days in advance. Best thing you can do is message us or send us an email very close to the time, as in, you know, it depends on the day it is, and so on and so forth. Cheryl Howard, be careful with your burger in Anchorage. There's a baby moose on the loose with a penchant for females. Okay. Oh, what, a moose? Oh, that is hilarious, mate. I love that. What, a baby one or an adult one? Oh, fantastic. Diane78 gifted a Big Jet TV membership. Helen Parker, parents on BA1389 to Atlanta. Can you catch them, please, Jerry, if you're there? When? Where? What time? Please give me a time. And of course we'll catch them if we're here. Mr. KC10 Heathrow Heavy Rush. It might be a bit of a folks, please keep the personal conversations and contacts, please keep them to an absolute minimum, folks. Please don't have, you know, let other people get in and have their chat rather than hogging the chat with hello this and hello that and thanks for this and thanks for that. Please, I do ask kindly. I ask you respect it, not just for me, but also for all the folks who are trying to. Air Canada's Max, that's flying across the Atlantic, folks. How about that, eh? All the way across the Atlantic on a 737. Bluebird. Rachel Van Zeller, yes, thank you. Randy Bushbound, tuning in from Palm Springs. Glowen Kershaw got into the popcorn hearing. Apparently we've been tagged in this tweet as well about a moose helping itself in a cinema in Anchorage to the popcorn. Maybe you just wanted to go and watch one of the latest movies. well. Poor little thing. Cheeky beggar, but there you go. Leon Fisher, Air Canada 737, question mark, question mark. You're right to put question marks after it, Leon. What's an Air Canada 737 doing here in the UK? Well, because it's operating to either... where's it going? I mean, it's obviously Canada, but isn't it... Wasn't it St John's that they used to fly to? Didn't they used to fly to St John's? Halifax, Nova Scotia, East Coast anyway, that's for sure. Yeah, it's just gone out. Yeah, it's just gone out. Halifax, there we go. It's on the east side, is it? Obviously on the east side. Yeah! Click wing. See the wing? See, she's got no... She's got no wing tips on her. I call it a clip wing, a bit like the old Spitfire. But I was always a little bit confused as to whether that was a long range, but I don't think that, unless somebody tells me otherwise, I don't know whether British Airways actually have got the long range. The ER, the extended range, whichever, you know. But somebody mentioning on the feed the other day that apparently the ER, every time I say it, it's the bleeding donkey in it. Nice. Wow, it's so cold up here, mate. Unbelievable, mate. Good job. I've got all these layers on. Freezing me doodahs off. Nice 7.6. Smoky. Look how smoky she is, man. Neil Camp, St John's with a 319. That was it, yeah. It was a 318 though, wasn't it? I think BA used to operate out of well, they used to operate. Sorry, that was New York from LCY. Sis, I believe. Nice. It's going to take the left route. So yeah, folks, like I say, it's evident, looking at the feed the other day, it's evident, even though I am sometimes very far behind in the comments, it's evident that I do miss out on quite a lot of chat. So my apologies to everyone. Has the Singapore 380 left? Sean asking. No. And that's one big thing that I wanted to make sure that I got. There she is, parked up at gate. She usually goes out anywhere between sort of like 10:30 and 11, isn't it? I seem to remember. We've got a BA 1055. There we go. April is winter in the UK, Jake. You know, so. A little bit further back, Gilly. Maybe springtime should start in May or something. Wow, Caroline Teague has just gifted 20 memberships. Thank you, Caroline. A very generous thing to do. Please make sure to come in and say thank you. Love Marmite, Alex, quite a few old members being gifted there as well. What was the answer, Scott Hetherington, to your question you posed about the shot of all the planes? Well, did anyone get it that there is no Emirates 380 at gate there? That's very interesting, because there's always at least one. So obviously they are experiencing delays, I'd imagine. The 318 stopped at Shannon for fuel on the way out, Steve Batty, direct on the return from JFK. Steve Batty, what's that? Just trying to think, what's the reason for that stop in Ireland? Was it anything to do with customs, where they'd refuel the jet? Here comes an Emirates 380 right now, I think. Is it? Or is that BA? That's BA, isn't it? So, yeah. Dirty old 777. Finnair's 350. Nice. Birdman. Jerry, the engine Hal Pratt & Whitney is from Talon X combustors due to sonic resonance that amplifies at certain frequencies around idle thrust on spool up and reverse. Okay, so that's the that we hear on the Pratt & Whitney PW 1000 up to 1700, whatever thrust setting it's at, but thrust whatever rating it's at. Okay, Pratt Talon X combustors due to sonic resonance that amplifies at certain frequencies. Wow. So there we go. Yeah. So when they and that is on spool up and reversers. So when the engine is when the engine power is increased, you get that sonic resonance. Love it, man. Love that. And that's going to be down to what? That's going to be down to fan blades, isn't it? I'd imagine. And also there's a I was told once, I believe, that the blades on those Pratt & Whitneys actually twist only ever so slightly, but I'm wondering whether that's got anything to do with it. Describing about the Trent 800 on idle. Steve Batty, fuel, Jerry, I think. Oh, fuel. Really? That's interesting. Fuel, eh? Spoon salesman, eh? Quite growly, the XWB, isn't it? If it wants to be. So it's not down to the fan blades, it's actually it's something to do with the fuel, really. Wow, that's a very United's triple again. Looks like climbing, man. They're still climbing. What's that? Now, see if we can see the main undercarriage car tilt. Watch the tilt. There it is. See it tilt forward, and that's purely down to ergonomics and fitting that thing in the undercarriage bay. The design of the undercarriage bay. That 380. Geraint Roberts, Geraint, I think it is, that's pronounced correctly. Geraint, good day to you, a very warm welcome. Sounds like he's from Wales perhaps. Oscar Lawson is also a new member. Welcome, Oscar. Welcome all our new members, gifted or otherwise. It's great to see you here, and welcome back as well to many of long-term members and short-term members as well, of course. I'm just going to let them go for the short stand. 380. I don't know where. Well, Nick, you know, it's not so growly, is it? It's more screamy with the 747s, because most of those ones out there are sort of like Pratt & Whitney powered, CF6 powered, some RB211s, not so much the big, you know, the Trent 7s and the Trent 8s. These are quite growly, these Trent 9s. Easy, son. Easy there. It is such an impressive aircraft. Look at that wing, man. Look at that wing. Bird of prey right there, folks. Put some primaries on her and then she's an eagle. Yeah, look at that. Big old wing on it. That profile right there, look at that. Just so massive. If I look back now, there's a small one sitting at the entry point of the runway, and they're going to wait for quite some time before the wake disperses from that 380. I'm intrigued to know what altitude that cloud's at, that ceiling of that cloud. Comes another bank. It's going over. Okay. Geraint saying that we've got his parents flying off to, did you say Detroit? Brother and family off to Detroit. Okay, well that'll be an easy one to spot. Delta 19, won't it? That should be fair enough. Wow, that cloud base is quite high. I reckon that's getting on for 7,000 or 8,000 feet, maybe even higher. Anyone got flight radar open, or is it still down? What's that 380 altitude right now? 2,000 feet. Oh, blimey, okay. I think I'm being a bit optimistic, and I think it's 3,000, 10,000 feet. It's like the paint exercise, isn't it? There he goes, he's in now. Whatever altitude he's at now, Jilly, that is the ceiling, the cloud ceiling. Oh, okay. Or maybe it was the wrong altitude then, but I don't know. But yeah, that lot max. See this scimitar winglet, split scimitar winglet, exclusive to Boeing. Well, McDonnell Douglas is sort of like, whichever way you want to look at it. Of course, interestingly enough, the cow. Oh, is that Delta there? Is that him taxiing out that 330, or is he just coming? I think he might. No, he could be on his way out. Birdman Meta is showing cloud base at 4,200 feet. There we go. Thank you, Meta. Birdman, sorry. Paul B08 looking forward to the weekend. Paul Skilling. I was just coming from Detroit, is it? Oh, okay. Trone Hunter, good day to you. Zombie Tog. Clouds, Romeo Oscar Bravo also mentioning cloud base 4,500 feet. Brandon Planespotter, flight radar backup for him. Nigel Gale, 4,000 feet. Kujro Alam, D-rated takeoff / flex thrust is at least 90 to 92% of max rated thrust for the particular engine aircraft combination. Even climb thrust is well above 80%. Wow. Okay, so a D-rated is even a D-rated is around about the 90%. Wow. Cool. JB, there are overcast clouds and an altitude of 4,000 feet, ceiling broken or more is 4,000 feet. Yes, it is broken cloud. Definitely some great formation. There we go, Evan. One of our friends out there at Anchorage, putting a tweet up. Just non-stop Boeing 747s, folks. We kind of know the procedure out there now, and also bear in mind that on Friday morning, if I'm in a situation which is highly likely that I'll be awake very early on Friday morning, I think we do get the opportunity we will get the opportunity to see the DC-6 in operation, because I believe it's weekdays around about 8 a.m. So I think that's right. We'll have to just double check that. But we'll at least do something. I'll do something, because I'm going to get bored, I'll be honest with you, because I am going to be up quite early, just going to be sort of like trying to relax, but you can't do it, can you, man? You can't relax. Well, you can, but it's like, I want to get out there, because I'm all the way here and I want to show everybody what's here, because there's going to be hundreds of people who seeing Anchorage for the first time, and you're going to be quite blown away by not just obviously the aviation and the spectacle itself, but also the backdrop, folks, is just phenomenal. So you're going to see some great stuff in Anchorage. Marcel Max, is everybody's flight radar doing fine? For me, okay. So some random issues with flight radar. Do you think it's anything to do, Jimmy, with the UK government trying to not have their aircraft visible on radar. Lowy family, I heard you talking about the over-wing slide the other day. A couple of things. It's not a blowout panel, it's attached to the slide. The wings and swings open. Okay, so when the slide is activated, which is by sort of like a whatever procedure it is, I'm sure is it not blown out by gas bottles or something like that? That panel hinge is open. Okay, I'm with you. Okay, so it's a hinge panel and not a blow-off panel. Fair enough. Thank you, Lowy family. Let me just. So it's not. It doesn't detach from the aircraft completely. It hinges down, which is. But how does because the beautiful wing profile. Slide, swings open, would be on maintenance program. Right, thank you for that, Lowy family. But I'm sure, isn't the slide, the activation of the slide being extracted or activated? Because that all activates by gas, doesn't it? Gas bottles or air or whatever system it is. It's like an automatic. It's got its own self-contained. I guess that's all done in one procedure, isn't it? But then again, I guess what is the procedure? Does the panel open? How does the panel open? It's not like some bloke with a pull switch inside. It's got to be some kind of a mechanism that blows it open with the slide to extract the slide, isn't it? Because the slide sort of like extracts itself, doesn't it, out of its casing or its fixing point. So it does come down by a hinge, fair enough. But the actual activation of that panel itself / door, interesting. Love to see it in motion. Love to see it in action. Don't forget Delta. You've got to remember Delta. None of those are Delta. We've still got that Turkish 330 sitting down there, haven't we? Evan, Lake Hood is still frozen, slowly melting. Oh, okay, so we're not going to get a great deal of activity out on Lake Hood, unfortunately. Oh no, that's Lake Hood. Sorry, Lake Hood's the big lake, isn't it? Or is Lake Hood the airport? Lake Hood's Lake Hood is the airport. My apologies. Yeah, the float plane port. Yeah. Yes, the ones with skis, yeah, which would be a quite crazy experience to watch that, because you can't slow them down as easily, I don't think, on skis as you can on water, or can you? I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting one. Dion practice for the fly past. Yeah, we've made contact with our hotel in London, folks. We're hoping to make that all happen on the 6th, which is Friday week. So we will obviously be at the hotel, hopefully, for that fly past. Yes. Nice. The little Joey there showing great colours today. 100 years of all the different variants of the logo, the livery of Qantas. Mighty fine, you little ripper. Ken Watt, 0208 Wednesday, 26th of April 2023, GMT-8, -8, time in Anchorage. Okay, it's 0208 there right now. Couple more hours and I'll start getting restless. Karina Robot, you do not want to be anywhere near when the slide deploys. I happened to be on a jetway when a flight attendant forgot to disarm it. Very dangerous. I did hear that. Didn't the BA flight attendant, we can mention it now because it was quite some time ago, but didn't the BA flight attendant, a rookie flight attendant, accidentally deploy the slide? Either whilst they were taxiing or something like that. Maybe they were like, "Hello there, just to let you know that you're going to be over the, you're on an emergency exit, and if you need to break the door open, all you do is you pull this handle down like this." Oh! Stop the plane, stop the plane. Fire, fire, the fare's on fire! Sorry. Nick Gray, is that Nick Gray's just gifted 20 memberships as well? Thank you, Nick, a lovely thing to do. Bootle lad, only 68 aircraft in the fly past for the Kings against 600 for the late Queen. Oh, okay, interesting. Only 68. That'll go past in a jiffy, won't it? 68. Basil Sims, good day to you. Gadget gifted a membership. NZ Snipper, Hattix. A very warm welcome to you as new members. Sky Scan Hand. Favourite livery, Sky Scan. I've got to be honest with you, that is very difficult for me to answer that because there are so many fabulous liveries out there. It's more, to be honest with you, the case of like what is my sort of like most disappointing new livery, I think we would be looking at, because obviously I go all the way back to the old school days with TWA and all that kind of old school stuff, which I love. You know, I love anything. I love all the retro stuff as well. Of course, the modern sort of like, you know, new age liveries I'm not a big fan of in terms of, you know, the simplicity of I mean, look, you know, Iberia, Nova kind of all do it now, don't they, with the bleed from the tail down to the, you know, I mean, Verge's is great, it's great, but, you know, it is still sort of like, mind you, they were doing that long before all the Lufthansas and all that started doing it. But it is easy for them to do as well, of course, don't forget. And some of them do their own special liveries, like Brussels Airlines and people like that. United, American have some great retro jets as well. They're the ones to look out for, really. George Powell, plane crazy. Super 80 Swiss Air. Oh, is that Super? Would that be Super DC-8-80? I think 76 was the highest. Oh no, well there was an 80, I think. Dan Barnard, Drew Brown, Danny 48, Holly A, Rachel, Aero BNZ, Woody Witt ticker. Good afternoon to everybody. New members right here. Nick Gray, thank you very much indeed. Meeks has just joined us on first class. Meeks, turn left on when you get on board. Thank you very much indeed, my friend. Welcome to first class. It's a brand spanking new, shiny new member. Still got the cellophane on. But you're going to be joining us in Anchorage if you want next week. Don't forget, our timings are usually around about 4 o'clock in the afternoon here in the UK, but maybe earlier if we can do it. But obviously there's a huge, is it 8 hours, Gilly? I think it's 8 hours. Anchorage, 9 hours difference in time zone. Mr. KC10, if the door is armed and open, the slide inflation cylinder will work very quickly. Thank you, Mr. KC10. There we go. That's what I was looking for, was the fact that the slide is activated by way of air. And there he says it there, it's a cylinder. So that whole procedure as the door panel comes down, that door panel, the opening of it, surely it's not a manual thing, is it? Surely it's as soon as you hit that button, or as soon as you pull the lever, the whole sequence starts, doesn't it? It's not like somebody pulls a cable and the thing just flops down. It's like, surely it is a sequence of events that's all linked up together. But rightly saying that what I was saying was it's a blow-off panel. It's not a blow-off panel, but does it blow off with the hinge? Obviously it doesn't do that when it comes out. Yes, indeed. J-Mag, Air New Zealand, yes, you see, especially the All Blacks. So interesting design on the A330 main gear, that it doesn't have a tilt mechanism on it. Goes up as it is, so they very cleverly designed that. A350. The A350 undercarriage system. If you look very carefully, well, you can't see it from here. You have to be right up close, and also looking directly straight down towards it. The A350 main cart 6-wheel part undercarriage, that is, not the 900 but the 1000. The centre wheel section of those of the undercarriage, you just can't see it. But that centre wheel, the axle is ever so much narrower, a tiny bit narrower, and that is purely down to the fact that they don't have to have a tilt mechanism like the 777. They can just, the gear can go straight up without being tilted. Is that our Delta jet coming out, GP? Is that 19? Yeah, Andy, I'm in agreement, Andy, that they are pretty, I don't know, boring, but distinguishing. They're very unique in their own way. But I know what you're saying, Andy. Spirit, he's right. Spirit do a great job. You're never going to miss a Spirit jet. I like how Southwest have still got some old stuff. So now no tilt on the 350. Just go straight up, doors come down, gear up, lights are off, taxi light off on the front. Bit praying mantis right there, isn't it? Yeah. By the way, folks, we've had a few people who have been experiencing a few delays with merchandise, only on selected items. First of all, the caps. Our manufacturers, or should I say our the people that manufacture the merchandise, but they manufacture all of the folks on YouTube's merchandise. It's not just us. We don't have an individual, we don't have any say in it whatsoever, other than creating the design for it. So everything's made bespoke for you guys. It's not like we've got thousands of them sitting in a warehouse and we go and pick one out. It is literally a case of order and then wait. Normally it's around about 30 days. Sometimes it comes earlier, but I literally, let me put it this way. I ordered a black and a red cap for the Emirates shows. Ordered it sort of like 2 weeks before the Emirates shows. In fact, maybe even longer than that, to allow for the, you know, maybe a 20th of January. There we go. And I literally only just received them about a week or 2 weeks ago, if that. So everybody's getting the same delays, and stickers as well. The die-cut stickers, which I call a car sticker because it is a big sticker. You can't really put it anywhere else other than on a car windscreen or on your bumper or something like that. It is a big die-cut sticker, not the rounded one, but the big one. That is also, we're also experiencing delays on that, and to be honest with you, I think it's all down to the fact that it's difficult to find a good sticker manufacturer these days, because we want the best stickers there are, and those round ones that I have that we order individually, that I give out and also I send out for free if you request one via the PO box. Latest batch has just gone out as well, by the way. We've got 2 Delta Jets coming out now, Gilly. Sorry, did you say, is it? I got 2 Jets. I got a 767 and an A330. And a partridge in a pear tree. It's the 330, is it? Okay, so that's the next one, right? Livy Maidment, good day to you. Brian Henry, good day everybody, hope you're doing well. Joanna B might be going to Las Vegas. Tony McCall, that's what arming doors means. See, if you look very closely, you'll see that main undercarriage tilt forward on the 777. Not so evident on the 787. She's growling, man. Rolls Royce, listen to that. Just watched 4 videos, can't figure out where the panel goes when the whole thing opens up. It's all very quick procedure, isn't it? It needs to be. It's not like some bloke at the bottom of it with a pump, a foot pump. Who's it? Brother and who? Brother and mother? Brother and sister? I see on the screen there is very dark, but also bearing in mind that my glasses are light sensitive, so they go dark as well. So I'm guessing, based on what I saw the other day, that your picture that you're seeing on your screens, especially on your mobiles, is crystal clear, and the colours, the 4K colours. I've got to be honest with you, folks. I said to Jilly yesterday when I watched it back, and you know, I'll hold my hands up. I don't often watch it back because I just don't have time, honestly. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. But when we were just looking at something yesterday, it was the audio thing that we were trying to figure out. I was just absolutely blown away on the clarity of it. The imagery is just beautiful. The colours are so crisp. Beautiful, nice, shiny 350 down there. Why she's on remote stand, who knows? There's a slide girt bar that engages to the floor when the door is armed and open, causing the lanyard to unwrap the slide and push the pin for the slide cylinder to fire and inflate. Kujro, there we go. That's, you know, great feedback, thank you. So that kind of like describes the procedure, the process. Once that initial, it's not like they've got to pull one lever and then select another one, pull another one, press a button and all that. Nothing like that. It's just all one from the action of one. From one action causes many reactions, if you know what I mean. Mrs. H loving the rotate shots. Great. That's what we love. 3:21 a.m. in California. Nabila saying 3:21 a.m. Wow. Slightly. Is it a bit dark, Jilly? Sorry. Yeah, but that's because of no, that's because when it's flying against the cloud. No, it's me talking about the silhouette. Lance D, Braniff, and old school American polished metal. Those were some great liveries. Yeah, you see, that's why I built that Braniff 747 model, because I remember it with a passion from when I was a young kid, with them flying into Gatwick. Texas International Airways had a great one as well. EGPX. I know we're concentrating on landings, but there's a rather sexy Air France 220, number 3 for landing, 09 left. Okay, well that will turn off the runway very, very quickly, and we will not see that, but they will turn that aircraft round, I'd imagine, quite quickly, and we'll more than likely see it go out. Thanks, EGPX. Has that landed? Jill Blakeney, leaving for Anchorage tomorrow morning. HGC, great sound. Ding! That's what we love. Echo 6 Bravo, loving the growl. Dan Air 737, 777, 200 American Airlines. Livy Maidman, lovely noise. I'm miles behind on comments, my apologies folks, but I don't want to miss your comments as much as I can. All obviously, I will be concentrating on the aviation related comments and chat, so thank you for that. Jeffrey Dingle, first memories of London Airport as it was known in those days go back to the late 50s. First passenger aircraft to operate from London Heathrow. Normally happen to do it. It was a Lancastrian, converted Lancaster bomber, and in fact, I think you'll find that the location for the first ever terminal building or anything of that sort, or in fact it was just canvas tents, to be honest with you, was right next to the Renaissance. If you look at the historic photographs online, you'll see that quite evident on there. And yes, of course, later on Rachel Van Der. Yeah, it's a little bit dark when, obviously nothing you can do about the conditions, the overcast conditions. But to be honest with you, I'd rather, when on the fly past, because I'm this side of the sun, in front of it, should I say? Okay. Is this some kind of special livery or something? It's Air France 220. He is going to taxi down here, and we are going to get to see it. But we've seen them in their multiples now, haven't we? So unless this is... Okay, so no, it's a stocker. Still looking good though. I do like the Air France 220. We not bring the A320 anymore. Do not like that airplane anymore. Sir, it smells like onions. You like the smell of the new A320. Because I am the Scarlet Pimpernel. Gary Barlow, give him a shout out, thank him for the gifted membership. Stripe, nice bit of brake dust off the wheels there as the auto brake system kicks in. Seen this one a few times, haven't we? Is it going to go left or right? I think it's going to go right, yeah. Listen to those engines. Pumpernickel. Crazy how those wings flex up, man. Crazy. Is this Oman Air or is it United? It's a little bit difficult for me to see with my eyes because my eyes are old, my knees are bent, my ears are old and drizzled. Search you again, you centurions! I'll fail a spoon, sir! Ian McGee, I'll be heading to the Hilton Garden very soon before flying to Barbados using your superb discount code. Brilliant! I'll try and get room 747 this time. Great views of the airport too. Yes! Walk past 747, room 747 when I make my way up here. And indeed 747 is 748 is also a good room as well. See, easy, yes. Interesting that Virgin have gone as far as repainting one of their CEO 330s. Quite interested about that because it means that obviously they've either got a delay on one of their on one of their 330 Neos, or they've maybe stretched the for whatever financial reasons. It would make sense, of course. Still no Emirates 380. What is that all about, eh? No Emirates 380 in town yet. It's a nice Air Canada trash panda right there. Gary Boakes, hi Jerry, engine numbering is number 1, the captain side left engine, yes sir. Always starts on the far left hand side as the number 1, and then inwards, if it's a 4 engine, number 1 and 2 on the left hand wing, 3 and 4 on the right hand wing, counting in that sequence. And the 3 is obviously the inboard right hand wing, etc, etc. But yes, you're right. So number 1 is on the left, number 2 is on the right, with and that's always normally the engine start sequence. Lance D, wing flex. Livy Maiden, Flight Radar 24 is Swedish. Livy Maiden, loving the wing flex. Sky scan, Flight Radar 24 showing no aircraft in the air. Crazy, isn't it? Oh, okay, right, okay. So satellite tracked. Captain Bob, good morning, everybody. Just realised that Aslician Airlines, never heard of them. Selling their 321 Neos to go all Boeing after the 320 Neos were ex-Virgin America. Interesting. I don't know. Say about that. Does he mean Alaskan? Is that a mistype? It must be. Aslician Airlines. Who are you flying with? Aslician. No idea, mate. Emirates 380 went out. Yeah, but there should be another one. There should be another one. There's always one. There's always one. Mate?
Just being nosy. I'm not interrupting you.
That's all right, fella.
That's all right.
Oh, okay, cool.
Just being nosy, sorry.
Are you finished yet?
No, we've been here all day.
Fair play.
And tomorrow. About you?
I won't be here tomorrow. I'll be up there some of this time tomorrow.
Oh, will you?
Yeah.
Where are you off to?
Alaska.
Oh. What, doing this?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you know all the planes that are due to come?
Where?
You know,
No, we just, they're as they come. It's kind of like a normal daily procedure, you know, in terms of the flight times and stuff, but...
Loads of planes here, aren't there?
Yeah, there is. Aaron Gom is a new member. Sorry, mate. Aaron Gom is a new member. Very welcome, warm welcome to you, Aaron. Virtual wings. While Flight Radar 24 is playing up, there is a similar alternative called Plane Finder. He's right, you know. He's right. You know, as an alternative, if your Flight Radar 24's down, folks, you can head over to Plane Finder. Good bunch of fellas who run that as well. Almost in a funny sort of way. My old mate John's flying out on that tomorrow. From when I was dispatcher on a 2-engine aircraft, engine 2 is started first, followed by engine 125 Aviation. He's right, you know. I've seen some aircraft that do start the number 2 first, but it really is sometimes, because I was under the impression that the number at 1 engine is the one that sort of like powers the other systems as well once the aircraft is fired up. But the APU obviously carries out a lot of the work. But it may have been a case of like 4-engined aircraft that was the case. I have seen a case where the 2 and 3 engine have been started on a 4-engined aircraft. I'm pretty sure I have. 380, they can start all 4 engines at once. Or actually, no, it's 2x2, isn't it, on the 380? I think, if they want. DJ Pacer is a new member. Welcome, DJ Pacer. ADSB exchange working well this morning. Peregrine Bush saying. EK1 due in 41 minutes. Anchorage. Martin Saxton. EK1 just over Antwerp. Bootland. Never heard of Sweden having serious power failure problems. Alaskan and Virgin America merged, if I remember correctly. Rachel Van Zeller saying. Oh, Alaskan and Virgin. Oh, is that what it was then? Oh, I've got no idea. Kevin Pride, I think the oldest 330 Virgin has is 12 years old. Compare that to the British Airways aircraft. The A380 is still a baby. He's right, you know. You got some pretty old jets flying with British Airways. Harping back to the days of the introduction of the 777-200, which was powered originally by General Electric. These aircraft that you're looking at right now, British Airways launched custom for the Boeing 777. I remember flying on one to Los Angeles many years ago. And I think it was a GE powered jet, but the original batch of 777-200s that British Airways received were powered by General Electrics, and they had some massive problems with them, which needed actually meant that British Airways switched their engine supplier to Rolls-Royce for the second batch, I think. So that's why you see a mixed number of 777-200s with British Airways, and with American Airlines operate all their 777-200s with the Trent 800 engine as well, I think. DJ Pacer, he's in Australia. G'day to you, DJ Pacer, and a very warm welcome to you as a brand spanking new member here on Big Jet TV. G'day. Sandy Humby, plane finder working just fine today. There we go, they're getting all the love. Livy Maidman, will not stray on my loyalty to Flight Radar 24. Well, yeah, but they're not going to come knocking on your door, are they, at midnight like, oi! Russell Sprout. Doom, doom, doom. Doom, doom, doom. Hello? Oh yeah, this is Flight Radar. Can we come in? What? Sorry? Yeah, well, we have reason to believe that you've been using Plane Finder, and we're not very happy about it. Yeah, but I'm just about to go to bed. Well, we'll leave a note on your doorstep, and if you could refrain from doing that in future, please. Thank you very much. Right then. Pleasantly surprised if you try it, folks. Screamy. General Electric had with the initial batch of 777s. I know that apparently the thrust rating on the 9X engine that's going to be powering the 777X has been derated right the way back to less than the Gen X engine apparently. Or was it the GE90? That was it. Sorry, not the Gen X, the GE90 engine. Mind you, Gen X isn't that far behind it, really, is it, in terms of its power? GE90's obviously got different thrust settings. It's or power. Funky shot with the bird? No, he's not getting involved. I'll just hang around here and fly, mate. I'll just hang around here and fly. You look at your stupid metal things and I'll just like... Look at me up here, mate. I just... Look how I flick that tail, I just flick that wing there. All I do is that, you know. Look how easy it is. La-di-da-di-da. You know. Look at that, mate. That's it. There you go. There's your Airbus 380 wing right there, man. Alfie Radish is a new member. Welcome. And Scott Mulligan is also a new member. Welcome to Alfie and Scott. A very warm welcome to both of you guys and all our new members who've joined today. A very warm welcome. DJ Pacer, I love aviation. I live the real stream. It makes my day. Oh, he loves the live stream. There we go. Thank you, DJ Pacer. Watch for the tilt. Watch for the tilt. There it is. It's quite Clipwing 777, or is it Clipwing? No. She's got. I think all the 777-200s are all Clipwing on the on BA's fleet. The only rate wing tip you're going to see on the 777 is on a freighter or on the extended range. I think it is the ER. It's one of the distinguishing features of a long-range 777-200 or a freighter. All the freighters have got wing tips, raked wing tip. You can see that's a clip wing. She hasn't got any tips on her at all. Tipless. You can't say that, Jeremy. Glid the Bean, g'day from Australia, another one, Glid the Bean. Very warm welcome to all our good friends out there in Australia. Glad you could join us as well, because obviously, you know, this time of day it's still sort of like half decent time in Aussie, isn't it? Just it depends on where you are, really, East Coast, West Coast. Brian Henry. Jerry, what's the most international flights a day to one city out of London Heathrow? God blimey, good luck with that. It's got to Chicago or something crazy like that. 145 flights a week, JFK. 145 flights a week? Sure, I'd have thought that'd be a day, wouldn't it? 145 flights a week. Oh, from Heathrow to JFK, my apologies, yeah. Trevor Perry has upgraded his membership to first class. Thank you, Trevor. Great to see you here. And of course, make sure you get all the provisions in, and everybody else here in the UK and wherever you are in the world, if you're a first class or super class member, get yourselves ready for Anchorage, folks, because I'm going to be anchored down in Anchorage this weekend. Kathy Williams, London Heathrow JFK is one of the most lucrative routes for airlines. Yeah, it is. Alfie Radish, great to be a member, been watching for years and love the show and the content. Alfie, fantastic to have you here. What a fantastic second name as well. I have many times in my life had flying dreams where I fly by just jumping up and then just flying and then using my hands as as ailerons. Literally, I'm telling you, man, and it's great. But then as the dream goes on, you sort of like, I lose the power, and eventually I jump up and nothing happens. It's like, oh, it's not happening. It's not happening. And I have woken from my slumber, gone to use the WC, gone back to sleep, and gone back to the same dream. honest, that has happened. It's flying. Cloud base around about 4,000, between 4 and 4,500. Broken cloud at the moment. She's making another right turn. Fluttering her ailerons at us, look. Rolls-Royce, Trent 900s, Singapore Airlines, the launch customer, well, not the launch customer, but the first customer to bring the 380 into London Heathrow. I don't know, I think I need to follow that 380, man. I need to follow that 380 because there's another 777 coming out here. We've got a bit of a oil painting style shot with that 380, and I don't really want to miss it. See, now what I talk about with the oh man, sorry folks, I've got to come back to this. See the halo around it, man. All the pressure on the wings above and below, of course. Well, increased pressure, decreased pressure, all sorts of things going on there aerodynamically with the wings. see the big long raked wingtip. This is what I talk about with the wingtip. Look, see the wingtip. You see it there. Yeah, don't forget, folks, where we are right now. Look on your right-hand side of your screen. You see Hilton Garden Inn, London Heathrow. This is the Hatton Cross. It's not the Terminal 2/3 Hilton Garden Inn. This one is at Hatton Cross, and we've got a great deal with the folks here. Thanks to RL and his team, we're able to offer 30% discount on room rates. And book 747 as well, room 747, or anywhere along that top 7th floor actually. Sorry. Third on final approach with my parents on it. Oh, have I missed that? Yeah, say it again. WestJet's Dreamliner. Howard Scott got my first 380 flight in June. Lufthansa from Munich to Boston. Yeah, we've got to get out there to Munich, folks. We were hoping to. I was hoping to visit the. One of the major shows out there, but I think I'm going to do probably an MRO show, maintenance, repair, and overhaul is I think maintenance, repair and overhaul. When you hear those MRO letters being mentioned in aviation, it's generally, if you are an MRO, you're maintenance, repair and operations, of whom there are many thousands of them around the world, dotted around, mostly around airports, of course, where they will maintain aircraft from whatever level it might be, just changing tyres, or should I say wheels, swapping wheels out, a bit like that place in Miami that we saw with the brand new 747. It was second to last 747, wasn't it? Catcher. Got to thank Turkish getting me either to my dad's in Kiev before the war and mum's in Tbilisi. Save me with its more reasonable prices. Catcher saying, "Oh, that's good news, isn't it?" Wishing you well and everybody else as well, of course, Catcher. Looks like a springboard, isn't it? Idea to get a few of the engine cowls painted as well while they were at it, when they at Virgin were having that 330 painted out. You would have thought anyway. Shut up, I'm telling you. It's those Trents that did that. Watch the taxi lights go off as they select gear up. Whole sequence will taxi lights off, doors are open, gear is flipped, and up she goes. Long before they select autopilot. It is remarkably, it's quite a short period of time, obviously depending on the aircraft type and so on and so forth, and the conditions, of course, but as little as 60 seconds I've had the flaps are being retracted around about 60 seconds. Autopilot is not long after that, I don't think. Am I right in thinking that flaps and slats need to be retracted and everything is configured before they hit the autopilot, or is that something that can come on and be activated even whilst those procedures are going on? Catcher. DC $900. Wow. Okay. New British cargo jet carrier. That I think it's called One Air. Bootle lad, yes, mentioning that. Jelly did mention that to me. Apparently, going to be operating out of London Heathrow. We are. Jelly, can you see if we can get contact? Jonathan Pyle. Yes, flight radar 24 is down, my friend. Unfortunately. So this Delta 767 is a prime example of those raked wingtips, but much more noticeable on the 767 from this angle anyway, when they're climbing out towards us, than the 777. Lion, what are the red lights inside the undercarriage? Good question. That I think that's an armed light to show that the undercarriage system is armed, which is just I think it's just a warning light to any ground personnel, and that obviously is something that remains on until the undercarriage is retracted. Interesting that you can see that. Big old set of titanium blades on those XWBs, man. Of course, only big outboard ailerons controlling the turn on the 350 and the 38. You can see them outboard there. See the big long ailerons outboard on each wing. Unlike the, it's interesting because the Airbus 350 or any of the Airbuses, apart from the A300 and A310, actually have flaperons. None of the Airbus following that had flaperons, and I think part of the recommended. The recommendation for designing an aircraft was that it needed flaperons, but I think that the Airbus utilises also its other flight surfaces to act alongside the ailerons on very bumpy approaches anyway. That's something I've noticed. Jeff Anderson, he's talking about the red light. I was talking about the red light in the undercarriage bay. But yes, the red light that is under the belly and above above the fuselage are navigational aids or anti-collision lights. Still the old eggshell colours today here at BNE. You've got to inflate the autopilot first, haven't you? Stop calling me Sharon. Here's the data. What can you make of it? Oh, I can make a hat. I can make a Raven National on your travel list. Tony Hayes. Well, they also take a wild turn out of New York as well, don't they? But that's something to look at. Tony, thank you. Cruise Road. Red wheel well lights on Boeing indicate the unsafe to approach gear area. There we go. Oh, okay. They illuminate on door opening and extinguish on ground when landing gear doors are open and locked. So they must re-illuminate or something when they're going out, because I have caught on a number of occasions the red light up inside the undercarriage bay on the 777. on that one, folks. Very flexy. And a big thank you to all of our pilots who... hey, is this the Roo going out? Is this the little Joey going out? Right. Jace Ward aircraft registration codes made of 4 letters. There are only 14,950 different combinations. Will we run out of codes soon? Really? Wow, that's interesting, Jace. Thanks for that. Matt, hello from Renmark in South Australia, and thank you very much for the membership. Matt, g'day. Very warm welcome to you. There's a few Aussies in the house right now, and looks like this jet, because she was towed to her gate not long ago. Now look at the elevators at the back there. See them in the downward position. Once the systems fire up and the hydraulics are charged, then those elevators will go up to the neutral position. G'day. Beryl Savage, apparently it's World Pilots Day. Blimey, always, unless you blink you miss half of them. It's like World's Ice Lolly Day. World's, I don't know. Yeah. World's Leave Your Mother at Home Day. The World's Speak About the Cat Day. But congratulations, all pilots. We always give praise to our wonderful flight crews. Heathrow Alarm, there is a dedicated flap/slat lever on the right hand side of the centre pedestal with slots for different flap positions. The same lever sets slats according to flap selection. There we go. Interesting. That's something I didn't actually know. But it kind of makes sense. You don't sort of like want to have the two independently, do you? Really? Do you? Or... Daily Drives is a new member. Welcome, Daily Drives. It's nice to see that Air Canada 777 in the bandit livery. I think she's going out, isn't she? Tony Haynes, those wild turns are scary the first time you fly there. They really should warn the passengers. Right, I gotcha. Wow. Where was it? I'm pretty sure it was in New York. Had a bit of a sort of like a snaky approach. AA, how much fuel these hold? AA depends on the aircraft type. Depends on where it's going to, but I think about 90 tons is a flight across the Atlantic for a jumbo. So I'm guessing, well, I don't know actually. Kuzro will probably be able to tell us, or any other pilots in there. And thank you to all our resident pilots as well, by the way, for all the great feedback that you give us. We really do appreciate it. Always a chance of catching F-22s at Anchorage. Yeah, not at Anchorage, not going into Anchorage, but going into the very close by airbase. Beverly George, before takeoff, when the flaps are being checked, it is called FNF. Yeah. Well, F and F. Full and free is what it stands for. Beverly George, you're not making it up, but F and F. F squiggly and F, or F and F. Yeah, full and free, as in making sure that the flaps and the flaps and the flight surfaces are all working. Not so much the flaps; they're not checked on an F and F check. It's the elevators, the rudder, and the speed brakes or the spoilers over the wing. They're the main checklist with the F and F. Full and free movement to make sure that they're left, right, up, down on the elevators, left, right on the ailerons, of course, and of course on the rudder as well with the foot pedals, and of course on the speed brakes as well to make sure that they're all working efficiently. And as you can see there, the Qantas jet is ready to go. See, those elevators have now gone to the neutral position. Catch it, I was returning from LA and we were landing at night and I was knocked out sleeping. Rest assured, I woke up the moment my head banged against the wall on one of the turns. Okay. Wow. That bad, is it? Flipping heck. That's an F and F check going on there with the rudder. Have I missed the other components? I was looking down at my phone, but I think they've already done it. Sometimes pilots will do 2 F and F checks, one at standstill, and then again as they're taxiing out. Okay, we have Stevie P, one of our members, on Rosie Lee, Virgin Atlantic, and there she is, going to where? GP? Vegas, was it? San Fran, sorry. So there's Stevie P. Messaged us the other day, he'll be happy. That's American. Oh, there she is there, right at the end of the line, next to go out. Jeff Anderson, well, he's still ticking. Awesome car, thank you. Awesome car, I love it. It's not that same fella who's changed his name, is it? So, do you remember the other fella? What is it? What was it? What was the other one that was quite funny? Awesome car. I like that. If for whatever reason pilot has to perform a go-around, yes, that will be most definitely recorded in the pilot's log. Stardate 2023. Trying to get a shot of this warning light now. The gear doors will come down. Now, does the light? Wow, look at that. Working alongside the ailerons Aileron's outboard wing flight surfaces. You see the flapper on behind the engine, the moving flight surface that aids in the turn of the aircraft. There is your Stevie P, is it, Gillies? Jeff Anderson, last time I saw that Qantas 787 was in LAX when I moved here in BNA back in June. There we go. Wow. Okay, so it must have transitioned then, I'm guessing. Stevie P on the move. He's on board. Unbelievable, man. Come on, summer, for crying out loud, man. Oh, spring, you know, come on, man. Max. It's a new member. Welcome, Max. Here we go. Let's get Stevie P up and on his way to San Fran. San Francisco. Always remember the big giant seals down at the wharf. Scalloped cows. Exclusive design. Well, actually, it was a NASA design, wasn't it? Those scallop cows. It's actually getting colder. It's actually getting colder. I know exactly what you're talking about. It looks flat-footed, doesn't it? It looks like a flat-foot, sort of like, you know. Yeah. Relatively short show today, folks, by the way, as you can appreciate. Got to prep everything for Anchorage Anchorage. Got a relatively early start tomorrow morning. Got to get myself to Heathrow Airport quite early to get the flight, of course, with British Airways. Flying out on their Dreamliner. I would imagine it will probably be a 9. Be cool if it was a 10, but it ain't, I don't think. Okay. Where have you been? Jack's Aviation. Second stream as a new member. Welcome, Jack. Great to see you here. If I missed you on a previous show, my apologies. I know that I missed comments, folks. Just looking back on some of the stuff from the other day, I was quite shocked actually at all the amazingly good comments that I missed. Hey, is that Helvetic 220? No, Helvetic Embraer E2 jet, isn't it? Flown on that. Clive Wills on a short hop tomorrow night. Still can't wait. Yeah, of course. It's the whole thing of going to the airport and all that kind of thing, and being involved in it. So the worst thing is obviously going through security. It's just a long-winded process, especially if it doesn't matter whether you're flying domestic or long haul. It really doesn't matter. You're going to get caught up in it all anyway. There's the little route going in there. Trick City, yes indeed. Flight Radar 24 having some serious technical issues today, folks. Please be patient. A few people I know have flown on the flight to Perth, Western Australia on the Qantas flight, and one enjoyed the flight while someone else didn't enjoy it. Gary Sibthorpe. Well, good question, but I make do with it. I just wear the right headgear, keep myself cool, drink lots of water. Obviously, you know, I do go to American destinations as well, warm, hot American destinations like Miami. Oh, it's better anyway. Kathy Williams, thank you. Yeah, LAX, not last time. Flipping out. LAX was a joke last time, wasn't it? Avro Arrow, wing camber, as in the curve of the wing, the arch of it. I understand the word. Okay, is that what it's? What's this wing flex? Or as he says, as he calls it, wing camber. I like that. Is that the official term for the upward flex? Look at it bending already, man. When it gets to the V1 point, she's flexed right up. Look at that. Look at that. She's quite light. Positive right, gear up. Here's something I found out only few months ago, was about someone on the chat telling me that the cowling, the scalloped cowling shape on the 787 engine and the Max engine is exclusive to Boeing. It's actually a NASA design, but apparently it's great for sound reduction in sound. I'm on a 777 tomorrow, am I? Okay. It does reduce the sound note, but apparently it causes more drag. I'm guessing that is down to wind tunnel testing, I'm guessing. Beautiful bank shot. Saying thank you so much to whoever made me a member. I didn't even realise it, and I apologise for not acknowledging you this past Sunday, Eric. That's fine. It's easily it's easily done. And thank you for belatedly coming in and saying that. It's very kind of you. Coming out, mate. Look at that. Alex Prince, yes. Looks like we are on I am on a 777. Troy Cameron, good evening from Sydney. G'day. Jeff Anderson, it's going to be Atlanta is my first stop. It's the Helvetic. Oh, Seattle, sorry. Did I say? Oh, it's Atlanta, sorry. Sorry, Seattle's my first stop. My apologies. Just get on there and go, for God's sake. Birdman, Jerry, the engine howl is also because the combustor is free to vibrate between compressor and turbine at certain frequencies due to fuel flow rates. The combustor vibration is resonant. Wow. Okay, Birdman. Now you've made it clear regarding the fuel flow. It's a fuel flow related thing as well. Free to vibrate. I always said that it sounded like a vibration of some sort. A bit like when you've got an unbalanced bearing on an axle, if you see what I mean, on an axis, where it sometimes might get a little bit unbalanced and a little bit vibraty, you know. So there we go. That's quite interesting. Between the compressor and the turbine. Okay, so wow. Rob Marson finds radar box a good alternative to flight radar, if that helps. There we go. Should get a good example of the wing profile on this this Embraer. Their latest aircraft, the E2, based around the original design of the E195 and E175, etc. But bigger engines, new wing. Look at that wing. Look at the wingtip on it. Beautiful, man. Proper raked tip, much like the 777, 767. Nice. has gifted 5 Big Jet TV memberships. What a lovely thing to do. Thank you, early birdie. That front was late to go up, wasn't it? Times you hear these engines coming towards you and going past you, it's almost sometimes you actually hear a sort of like a difference in the engine tone, perhaps on one of the engines, I don't know. Anna T, Alan Lane, Harbour Tea Rooms, home of L, good day to you, a very warm welcome to Big Jet TV as new members, and thank you early birdie for doing that. Safe flight QF10 Mad Margaret. Booked myself on the flight on December the 23rd in the posh seats. Awesome car. This is Cathay Pacific, I think. Yeah, I wonder if that airline has got anything to do with the Cargo Logic. No, what I'm saying is if it's anything to do with Cargo Logic. Makes you wonder, because those guys certainly knew how to run a cargo operation, the guys at Cargo Logic. I'll have to speak to Dave and see if there's anything. Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Oh, that I probably will recognise. Willis Wadwick. Awesome car. I love that. Of course, you know, our good American friends will probably not. Well, listen to this, old friend. Go on, girl. Resonance. Love that. It's going to take a big, long right-hand turn. Trek 800. Here we go. Come on, girl. Hearn Hunter has very kindly gifted a Big Jet TV membership. Thank you, Hearn. And Raja Das is a new member. Welcome, Raja Das. Lovely fellow there. Very... Sawyer, never get tired of Trent sounding 777s. Well, Trent 700s as well on the A330, but I know what you mean because it's just a bigger fan blade in it. Trent 700s kind of like multi-bladed, sort of old school, in-betweener sort of engine in it, but a beautiful screamer. Missed Etihad's 350 today. What a great shame that was. And a 350k at the same time as well. Brian Henry, Jerry, you might get to see some E3 Sentries, AWACS in Anchorage, Elmdorf Air Force Base. Yeah, we did see last time we were there, didn't we? We saw a couple of, well, we certainly saw some, I think they were C-130s, weren't they? Certainly saw some troop carriers and stuff like that. But the E3 Sentry, of course, is AWACS. It's a... I can imagine that they're going to be very busy, being as they're so close to flipping Russia. Junior Jet Club, good afternoon to you. Dave, hey, I don't realise how big 777-300s are till you see them next to other planes. Yeah, big old lumps, that's for sure. Gavin Newman, good afternoon. Bruce McDonald, good old-fashioned resonant growl, yes. Resonant growl, I think that's our new word, isn't it? James the Drum. All New Homes now, All New Homes is a new member. Welcome, All New Homes. I think awesome car though. It's just... What was it? What was his... I'm sure it's the same fella who had another name that was like that. It was... Oh. James Drum. I saw about two C-130 Hercules flying together along with an A400M from Bryce Norton yesterday, James the Drummer. Logan 04. Jan Clark's hoodies have just arrived. Only ordered them flipping 6 months ago. No, they may have been right on the nail, I don't know. Hoodies and t-shirts I think are all good. It's just the caps and the stickers. Apologies for the delays, folks. They will turn up. Bleeding warmer though, I tell you. Another United 777-200. Nice. Andy Paul Walter. Jerry, I recently flew back from JFK on a 24-year-old BA 777. Was looking at its age a bit inside. Are there plans to replace them? Yes, Andy. Well, British Airways going through replacement programs at the moment, but those old 777s, yeah, they're old, man. Was it a 300, did he say, or a 200? I don't know, for 24 years old, that's got to be one of the 200s, isn't it? I don't know if I'm on a 3 or a 2 tomorrow, but I do remember one that I flew on. It had a very creaky seat. You know, as I was taking off. Keep the noise down, please. Sorry, my seat's... Just me to have the only squeaky seat in the whole cabin. That's just me all over, that is. It's just me all over. It's like, you know. Oh, there he is again. Squeaky, go on. Wake us all up, that's it. I'm just going to the toilet. Birdman, yes indeed, I'm quite aware that it is the Doppler effect as it goes past, which is the same as anything we have with trucks. It's the Doppler effect. Doppler effect. I think I'm a little bit scared right now. Simon Nil. Just not snow season, I don't think, in Anchorage, but it's just coming into spring now, so it's still nippy, put it that way. Definitely not taking me swimming trunks. Kenny Goat's flight radar is coming back to life, apparently. See why I talk about the A220 and the A350 looking very similar, having very similar front ends to them. The design, the layout, the cockpit window itself. Although it is a bit of an optical illusion, because if you look very closely, you'll see that the rounded section is actually is the paint. But it's still very spaceship, sort of like the window design is very unique in it. Look at that. I mean, compare that to the 777, which is very sort of like, you know, straight, should I say. It's much more sort of like, you know, aesthetically pleasing is the old is that Bravo Mike there? Right, said Fred. Sound quality is awesome. That thing go up, man. I think yes. I think this is Air Baltic's A220, isn't it? Can't help but say CS300 when I say the Air Baltic, because they were the launch customer, and I hark back to the days from Gatwick when we did that airside piece with them. Jennifer Jordan, French design, brilliant A350. Well, Jennifer, I don't know if it's purely French design. I think it's the European conglomerate of Airbus, is it not? Spanish, German, French, British. Wings, of course, all English. Well, I wouldn't say they're assembled here in the UK. All the components are obviously manufactured in different from different independent manufacturers. Although I did hear that Airbus are looking to upscale their manufacturing side. Of course, we're hoping one day to do a piece with the folks at Airbus, but trust me, if you could only see half of the, you know, the communications, the attempts at putting these shows together, folks, it's a long-winded exercise. You don't just ring someone up and go, hello, this is Big Jet TV, can we come down and do a film with you? Yeah, sure. When do you want to come down? Yeah, Monday maybe? Yeah, all right, then see you then. Any idea what time? Yeah, well, I don't know, get down at about 7 o'clock, have a cup of tea, and then just run around your factory and film to our heart's content, yeah, all right then, see you then, thanks, bye. It's nothing like that. I wish it was, but it isn't. There's a lot of planning that goes into it, but also the biggest and most challenging part of it is getting through the front doors and getting through those fire breaks or firewalls, whichever way you want to call them, because trust me, man, there are so many loops and hoops to jump through for going and filming stuff, and this is why a perfect example of it being the Anchorage piece that we were planning to do next Monday with Everts Air Cargo. Is everything was great, it was looking cool, we had contacts, emails had gone in. Next thing you know is literally the wheels were turning and someone literally threw a spanner straight into it. One of the guys there's like, I don't know what's going on here, I don't know anything about this, can we start the whole process again, and we'll have to put this through the so-and-so department and so-and-so, and she'll have to read it. It's like, you know what, I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll probably just go out there and film the DC-6 from landside. It'll just be easier for everybody. I will go and try and knock on their door on Friday, because I am going to be around on Friday. I've already been granted wanted an airside pass from Anchorage themselves as news media, so that is all done and dusted. We may just it may just be a case of, and of course when people hear about like, oh, you're coming to film, oh blimey, you know, how many grips are you going to have, how many cameras are you going to have, lighting equipment, how many people are you going to be bringing air sites, like, you know, no man, it's just me and not even a tripod. I just go over remote and that's it, backpack the lot. Alan Dickens is a new member, welcome Alan. Kenny Goats, Cargo Goats is a pretty good media team, might be a cool cargo show idea. Yeah, it's always difficult, you know, because with all great intentions, there's always, you know, there's always possibly someone there or something to throw a spanner in the works. You know, because they may be a bit like the one at Airbus, where the person that I was dealing with, she's left, so she's got a replacement, and that replacement has to get their feet under the desk and get themselves, you know, comfortable, and before you can start dealing with them. So that's immediately, almost immediately, lopped off at least 6 to 8 months worth of research. There is a Doppler effect there, but there you can hear them reducing the engine power, and they're picking it up again. Something I've noticed sometimes when I'm on board, where the engines will be powered back and then back up the power again. I don't know if that's in relation to switching to autopilot and then manually increasing the thrust, because all the autopilot jumping on it and saying, no, I need a little bit more power here. But yeah, always quite interesting when the aircraft is at, sometimes it depends on the altitude, it really does, but 777's noticeable sometimes when they climb out, you get that power back setting where they throttle back. TCC, yeah, you're right. You're kind of right there. I have to be honest with you. I don't want to, you know, tar everybody with the same brush, but you generally find that people in a, you know, in any, a lot of people are just not, and understandably so. They're getting paid to do a job, and they do their job as is, sort of like on a daily monotonous basis. Put a post out, maybe do a bit of this, maybe do a bit of that, speak to a newspaper or speak to a magazine or something like that. But in general, someone coming to do a project, a filming project, it's quite a big thing, isn't it? It's not like, you know, just imagine Airbus. You know, you don't just walk through the doors of Airbus and go and stick your camera in there. There's very sensitive items that are on show there, and that's why it's been agreed, tentatively agreed, that we will be going and doing a recce. I have to drive all the way down to Wales to do a recce and a test run with Airbus. We will do it live. We'll do it to our own private platform live, and the powers that be will be able to see that live transmission, and afterwards and during it make notes. Please don't film this, please don't film that, make sure you film this, you haven't filmed that, or it might just go completely to plan. Please don't mention this, please say that, you know, that kind of thing. So obviously we want to do it properly, and that just takes time, folks. It's been going on for like 2 years now, that whole thing. In fact, to be honest with you, it's longer than that, isn't it? It's got to be 4 years now because of COVID. I started speaking to Airbus about doing the Broughton tour, the A350 wing assembly, but now that's turned into the Airbus, the Beluga XL loading of A350 wings, which, to be honest with you, is a much more or less sensitive project, I think, than being inside the factory live. Clip wing. GEs, or are they Pratt & Whitney PW4000s on that jet? Because I know that the Pratt & Whitney PW4000 powered aircraft were banned from flying into UK airspace for some time until all the tests were completed and it was established exactly what caused the issue with that engine that exploded, really, didn't it? I mean, it was a contained explosion, but I think it blew the whole front, the engine nacelle off the aircraft, which is quite considerable to do that, exposing all the, I think all the fan blades were gone as well, or something like that. It was just a crazy detonation, I guess is the best word for it. Craig B, industry has lost all flexibility. I remember as a kid sitting alongside my dad in a tug towing an aircraft to maintenance hangar, not to security bloke on gate, and that was it. Nod to the security gate, bloke on gate. Yeah. Well, you know, times move on. Security, people have to be very security conscious these days because, I mean, there were days back in the day where you could literally almost, there was a picket fence running around Heathrow, you know, people wandering around all over the gaff, but not so much anymore, and understandably so. You wouldn't want, that's why we have, that's why we have fences around our gardens. Kerry Davies, I have to fly Eastern Airways prop plane for work trip. Does anyone know if there are any good? Eastern Airways, what prop plane would that be? I don't know whether that would be an ATR or a Dash 8 or whatever it might be, but they will be very, very safe indeed. Kerry, I'd go online. I would just go online and go to Eastern Airways fleet and then just have a look. But you'll be perfectly safe, absolutely, you know, as safe as houses, as they say. There's a prop, there was a prop plane that was taxiing out down there earlier on. I think he's so ditto that I don't know where he is. Where did he do the prop plane go to? Is he lined up? Here you go. GE90s won that former Continental 777 Timmy Rotunda. Okay, they were GE90s. Thank you very much indeed. Former Continental, yeah. Before they became United, wasn't it? Or they merged or something like that happened. But the United livery is still very Continental-ish, isn't it? I remember when I first started Big Jet TV, I regularly miscalled that as a Continental jet. Thank you, sir. Kind gesture. Anybody gifting Big Jet TV memberships. Thank you. planes with bombs and missiles on them. Saab, yeah, sounds right. Sounds very possible. Sending them out. Virgin Jets. Yeah. Who's that? Iran Air or something? No, that's not a Delta jet. Is it on the push? Qatar 380 just glimpsed it out of my right hand eye. Obviously both my eyes. Switch to right eye. Switch to left eye. Okay, both eyes together. God blimey, he's hammering it, isn't he? Look. Wow. She's heavy, man. Tomorrow then, yeah. So I'm there and back on the 777, is it? Okay, well at the moment anyway. Is it a 777-2 or a 777? No. Ian McGee, look at the wing flex. Old 767, smoky engines, Pratt & Whitney's, I think. It's a 200, is it? Oh my God. So I'm flying on a 26-year-old 777 tomorrow, folks. Oh, it's a 200 ER, is it? Oh, okay. Okay. I've been answered then about BA and their ERs. What's her reg? You got her reg? India Charlie. She's not one of these down here, is she? India Yankee. Bravo Echo. Oh, Jennifer, I don't know if it is the One World. She took off 20 minutes ago. 12 minutes ago. Oh my goodness. She's on her way to Washington. Isn't that fun? Oh, somebody's saying about the earlier today, just earlier on, about the Air Canada old, as some people call it, the Head and Shoulders livery Dreamliner, and there is one right there. Life above ground. 380s use BTV brake to vacate, and sometimes they might ask for a later exit to reduce taxi time, brake wear, and less reversers. Yes, a very valid point there. Life above ground. Some of these aircraft do have a brake to vacate system where they can pre-set they basically input the length of the runway, which exit they want, and the system will therefore calculate using its very clever computers the amount of braking that's needed, and that will sometimes, like he's saying, if it's a longer exit, that will reduce engine reverser, well, reduce engine wear, reduce brake wear as well. Yeah, always a good thing if they can do that. It depends on the exit point that they want. depending on the weight of the aircraft as well. All those calculations are taken into consideration when entering the exit point, the required exit point. All Canada. Interestingly, when I was in Toronto, quite a few Canadians saying they prefer that old livery over the new one. To be honest with you, I really do like the new one. Well, I say the new one, it's been around a few years now, hasn't it? John Pierce, never noticed the reg numbers on the tails, on the BA tails. Yes, indeed. Every BA tail carries its last 3 digits, much the same as they do on the undercarriage front doors as well. Sometimes you'll see mainly on US carriers, the ETOPS numbers on there as well. National Airlines 747 with 30th anniversary livery taking off from Miami. Zam tuning in from Manchester. G'day to you, Zam. Hope you're well. Okay, folks, so as I've mentioned a short while ago, we are on a shortened show today, purely because I've got to prep for Anchorage. I do like that Icelandair livery. Now, of the new liveries in terms of the standard sort of like livery that you get nowadays with the tail straight down bleeding onto the fuselage, bleeding fuselage. The Icelandair, I've got to be honest with you, it's the most sort of aesthetically pleasing, should I say, in terms of the fact that they use that pastel colouring or colour coding, different coloured pastels on the leading edge of the tail plane, which is pretty cool. I like it. Arrow, yes, Seattle to Anchorage with Alaskan. James and Drummo on their way to Dominican Republic. 787 going out. What's his name? Neil. Who's that with? Neil. Oh, it was Tui. There we go. Tony O'Reilly opening with his bosses and tuning in. Hello?
Yeah, this is Tony O'Reilly's boss. Can you put me through to him, please?
I'm afraid he's busy right now watching YouTube.
YouTube now.
Farid Abed. See, Anchorage again, yay. Someone who obviously hasn't tuned in for some time. Farid only just found out that we're going to Anchorage. We will be putting out notifications, folks, by the way, so make sure you join the app, download the app, but also bear in mind that if you're on an Android device, make sure you keep your eyes open on YouTube, because Android, we're still going through some issues with, and it's not us, it's them, by the way, folks. So just be aware that it's Android, that we are continually updating it. iOS is something that's obviously taken care of. Like I said, 15,000 notifications went out yesterday to iOS users, only 500 went out to Android. So just goes to show that we're having issues with the Android and we're doing all we can. It's us who have to create the update as well, or integrate it, or whatever it is, but it's quite a complex procedure, and every time we do it they create another one. So sorry about that. To caught a glimpse of those huge 11-foot long winglets. Is it 7 foot or 11 foot? I think it's 11 foot, those winglets. Imagine how long the wing would be if it weren't for them. Working Wednesday through Sunday. Yeah, there's many reasons why you might not get a notification, folks. Just bear in mind that, you know, it could be down to your network operator, it could be down to a glitch at the point that the notification goes out. It's literally, you know, there's a lot that goes into a notification, isn't there? If you're not connected to Wi-Fi, but then surely, Jilly, if they're not connected to Wi-Fi, and then when they get home and they do connect to Wi-Fi, then surely then it sends the notification out, or does it have to do it at the time, or? Yeah, you get a little red dot on your phone, on your home screen, don't you? But then it all depends on your settings of how you've set the app up as well. Home screen notifications, what kind of notifications you want, what kind of phone you're running. Oh, well, I don't know. Yes. Esther, that's a very lovely thing to do. Esther has gifted a Big Jet TV membership with the Canadian flag. Daniel Banks, why are the winglets that high on a 767 compared to others? Daniel, it's just the design, the way that Boeing designers created those winglets for the 767. It worked best in that configuration, and exclusive, really. Well, actually not exclusive, because the 757 was also, I think they're all retrofit winglets as well. None of them were factory fitted, so to speak. Beautiful Max. See the this. Oh wow, really? Cool. Who's that? Stuart Hewlett asking for a shout out for his wife, Erin, who's starting cabin crew training today with British Airways. All the very best to you. I'm sure you'll be a fantastic addition to the crew, or the family, should I say. Emirates because you won't have Emirates because that'll. You've only got one in at the moment. Interesting that NASA developed those engine exhaust cowls. Well, the exhaust cowls, I guess, or the aft cowls. Cynthia Selick just wrote, my final exam, glad you're live because it really gives me inner chills. Cynthia, PMA. Cynthia, positive mental attitude. You can do this! Tony Jetty, BFC. Jennifer Jordan, I hate tech problems. Blimey, you want to come and flip and spend a day with us? Even our tech has tech. Yeah, also download Twitter, folks. Follow us on Twitter because, you know, we do also update on Twitter as well. We always duplicate everything as much as we can so that you don't get issues with and YouTube as well. We put, you know, we always. Get a notification, it would probably be a good thing to just check the app for the sake of checking the app. You know, I'd always check the app on a Tuesday. We always put the update out around, you know, the day before. Normally, that's the normal state of affair, state of procedure. Yes. Daniel Banks loving it. So graceful when they make that first turn off and take off. It is, isn't it? Andrew Lumsden is a new member. Welcome, Andrew. Good to see you, sir. Thank you very much indeed for joining. Nick Woodward, tomorrow marks 18 years since the first 380 test flight. Andrew Lumsden, my cousin and her husband arrived from Anchorage via Seattle next Wednesday. Haven't seen her for at least 45 years. Wow. So I'm going to be there when they're there. And coming home the day before they come here. Is that right? I think it is. Might pop into them, might bump into them at the... I don't know, at the Walmart or something, I don't know. Oh, I don't really know. Alan Lane just got back to my PC to find I've been gifted a membership. Thank you so much, early birdie. There we go. Isn't that a wonderful thing? Jill Perry, I always get the tweets and Android notifications. There you go, you see. It's quite simple. Follow us on Twitter, download the app, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, put the little bell on, then you're guaranteed. Well, actually, I can't say that. You're damn nearly there. Chris F, only departures today. This is 09 right departures. And like I said earlier, we are on a quite a short run today because I've got to go back and set myself up for Anchorage. It's quite a big sort of like prep because of the fact that we're taking the winter gear, weights and stuff like that. 2 bags carry on, 1 bag check in. All those bits and bobs have to be checked. So I think what we will do, and I do apologise, I sincerely apologise to anybody who has just joined. But a very warm welcome to you anyway. seriously big. Can you believe it? Gloves. Make of it what you will, but it's bleeding freezing. It's flipping taters here. But anyway, it is what it is. Be moaning about the flipping heat in a couple of weeks. Oh, it's too hot, it's too hot. Can't stand it. I've got to put the fan on at night, blow me feet and all that sort of stuff. Me mate yesterday, he said, oh, I hate it. I don't. During the winter, during the summer, when I'm lying in bed, I've got the fan. But I made the mistake. I like to have the fan blowing in my face, and he's got one of them big ones, and he's put it right by his line in his bed, and he's got the fan right here, and he's woken up in the morning, and his face is all like melted down the side. It's all like falling down, and there's a name for it or something like that. If you and you have to, it lose all your nerves or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Thank you, folks. So yeah, tomorrow. Joe Thompson, been watching you from the start, but was just going to put you on the big TV. Yes. But amazing. I've got to be honest with you, folks. Yesterday was the first time in a while that I'd watched a segment of the show. We were actually looking at it to check the audio levels. Thankfully, we've managed to sort that out by a simple bleeding lead, innit? Absolutely amazing. I mean, the equipment today has worked flawlessly because I mean sorry. Thank you, folks. Too many people obviously here to say thank you to for saying thank you. But it is a joint participation on Big Jet TV, and it is great having you folks with us. Thank you, Jilly, once again. Next time we see, if you want to check my flight tomorrow, folks, we do get a lot of people asking what the flight number is and what time we're flying out and all that kind of thing. Jilly, can you give me the flight number outbound tomorrow, and then I'll give them the inbound. So BA0053 is the departure tomorrow. It's a 26-year-old 777, and I look forward to that because hopefully I'm going to get myself a nice seat over the wing, just forward of the engine, so you can sort of like look out, get the phone there, and get as they spool up, bit of wing flex possibly, building up the wing. Always great to see and seeing the ailerons moving and all that kind of stuff. A big kid really when I fly, I have to be honest with you. I wish you could sit there with me, all of you, each and every one of you, but you can't. So you'll have to put up with me when I'm out there in Anchorage. But listen, we'll update you. Make sure you download the app. Make sure you subscribe to the channel on YouTube, etc., etc. Make sure you do all those things to minimise the amount of disappointment that we obviously do sometimes due to no fault of our own, but obviously because of technical issues here, there, and everywhere. When you send out a notification, it's got a boom like that, and sometimes it just doesn't get caught. But anyway, we will see you in Anchorage. First show will probably be we'll let you know because we've got no idea exactly what we're doing. So, but we'll be able to catch up with you then. So thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who's gifted memberships. A very warm welcome to all our new members as well. Been great to have you here, and we look forward to you enjoying your time on Big Jet TV for many, many years to come. Thank you. See you in a bit. Cheerio then. Oh, what? I thought you said it was delayed. Oh, hold on a minute. We've got 380 coming out. Sorry, folks. Yeah, you said it was delayed. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Don't go anywhere. Well, you didn't have to tell me it was delayed then. You shouldn't have said that, should you? It's delayed. I got a 380 that's delayed and that was it. Oh, okay. Okay, all right. Okay. Oh, were they telling me on chat as well? Sorry about that. All right. Oh, heck. Another Air India jet. I like the way that Air India have continued to use their very unique window paint design, which is goes all the way back, of course, to the 1970s. Earliest. So I remember on the 747s, I remember them very clearly on the 747s. BA 193 to DFW to my home base, Brian Henry, saying, Tony Chatty, no, it's not over till it's over. John Mern, will there be one more after this one? There will definitely be one more, well, a few more until that 380 shows its big, beautiful head around that corner there. Yes, like a concert. More, I say. 26 years old, flipping heck. Should I take my own 3-in-1 can with me tomorrow? Tony Island has upgraded his membership to first class. Tony, great to see you there, and we will obviously look forward to seeing you and all our other first class members and super class members out there in Anchorage. The plan is that I'm getting there Thursday afternoon, but remember and bear in mind that it is a 20+ hour journey. When you take into consideration, I look at my travel time based on me leaving my house to the point where I literally arrive at the hotel at the other end, and that all combined with the stop in Seattle, the layover, not the layover as such, but the stop in Seattle, and then the travel time from there, and then all the customs, all of that sort of stuff taken into consideration, usually amounts to about 23-24 hours. What's that, GP? Cheryl Howard, love this channel, guaranteed to make me laugh. Oh, that is a good thing. That is a good thing to know, because it's a bit like every time, you've got to think of it, every Wednesday and every Sunday, along with all our other shows, I've got to keep nattering and entertaining you folks. I mean, obviously, I could just stand here and just watch the planes and not say anything, but it'd be a bit boring now, wouldn't it? Mike James, A380 taxiing out. Let's see if we can grab nothing yet. The waters are still still. The waters remain still at that entry point before a great big. GFNNCL is a new member. Welcome to first class. GFNNCL. Yeah, so, yeah, there she is. So when I get there, obviously I need a bit of a cool down and get everything out, set everything up. You know, I've got to set the camera up again, blah 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 blah, all those kinds of things. Get myself something to eat, get myself into bed, hopefully get off to sleep relatively quickly. I'll probably be up about bleeding 4 o'clock in the morning, knowing how my sleep pattern is when I'm away, especially last time I was in Anchorage. But it's fine by me because I get up nice and early. I head off to Starbucks, get myself a coffee, driving around in the dark, it's great. And then hopefully around about 7:30, 8 o'clock, I will be heading to the media centre at Anchorage, meet up with my good friends there to grab the airside pass, and then maybe heading off to meet the guys at Everts Air Cargo if it happens. I'll be honest with you folks, I don't think it's going to happen, just because there's been a sort of like a twist in the tail, so to speak, in terms of I mean, the thing is that I know I've only got one place to go, and do you know what? I know it so well now. I know exactly where to go. So I'll go there and get them. Yeah. Oh, folks, come on. Thank you, Brian Henry. Knighthoods for Gilly and Jerry for service to entertainment. Well, if we Dame Gilly Presswood. If one had to be given, I'll be honest with you, I probably would give it to Gilly, only because no. That's why we are half the reason why we're so successful, Always looking up. This view really gives you a nice perspective of how long the runway is. 2 miles, folks. 2 miles long, man. When planes get to V1 and rotate, there's still plenty of runway left. Yeah, there is. We have a little Rogue, and it looks like a 737. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. And it's KLM. Reason being is because he's heading over to Terminal 4. All he has to do is turn off, turn right about 3rd exit, something like that, maybe even 2nd exit. I think the midway point is where he's going to come off. Airlines. Surprised really that KLM don't have a flash of orange somewhere. I know they've got the orange Pride 777, but a bit like SAS with the engine cowls, the orange engine cowls. It'd be kind of cool if it's very, very typecasted now, isn't it? KLM's colours. So to add something would probably be maybe a little flash of orange on the tail. Like ITA's tail livery, which has the Italian flag down the back and the rudder. Maybe they could do something like that. That would look pretty cool, wouldn't it? 2 Rogue arrivals, the unexpected.
John Stone, a good afternoon to you. And we've just had Julian has gifted 5 Big Jet TV memberships. Thank you, Julian. What a lovely thing to do. What a lovely gesture for anybody to gift membership. It is a wonderful, privileged thing, I have to say, but a wonderful thing to do, which is why, kind of in a way, we don't have super chat on, folks, because we don't want any money coming to us. We'd much rather that money gets put back into the community of Big Jet TV, and therefore some folks who maybe were members who perhaps aren't able to afford it at the moment, they can obviously put their names down, and then you've got brand new members, people who are just trying it out, a lot of people who stay behind, and we do get our numbers are quite impressive in terms of the people that do stay around once their free membership has expired, and it's great to see, and thank you to everybody who supports the channel. But when I say supports the channel, really it is your channel, folks. You're the members, you are the guys and girls that sort of like are the fuel for the channel that keeps us going to these great places that we go to, and also to bring you this regular entertainment twice a week called Bless You Play Me Rally and all that, my love. Daniel Banks, Dame Jilly is better than Dame Jerry. Oh, I don't know about that, darlings. Oh, I could quite easily turn into a dame. Oh, very easy indeed. He did, God bless him. Hello, darlings. Should have a bank holiday to celebrate Big Jet TV. Yeah, but you'd be sitting there watching planes, wouldn't you? Kelvington is a new member. Welcome, Brooke. Welcome to first class as well. James Harrison is also a new member. Very warm welcome to you, James. Great to see everybody here getting involved, and thank you again to all the great comments and for all those engineers, technicians, pilots, people, everybody getting involved in the chat. It always is great to get your comments and feedback and so on and so forth. And to not only update me, give me information, but also give folks here on the chat information. I do like to jump in, I have to be honest. Even though I know that there are pilots on the stream and somebody asks a question and I'm like, oh, I think I know the answer to that one. Sometimes I get it a little bit wrong, and other times pilots will abbreviate on it, actually like improve on it, and it's like, yes, now it makes sense. Who was it today talking about the he got the Heathrow Alam, he's a regular and he's a pilot and knows his stuff, and it's always just great to get the information. Who was it who was talking about the resonance, and you guys are great, man, you really are. I'm honoured to have so many great people on the channel, because it's without you, it just wouldn't work. It literally is you are a very fundamental part in the cog in the wheel that drives Big Jet TV. So thank you very much indeed from the max at 7 cents for Japan. Rain, sleet, and at times next 3 days in Anchorage, BBC weather. Maximum 7 degrees. Okay, minimum 1. So it's going to be 1 when I rock up there in the morning, isn't it? Rain and sleet at times. Brilliant. Okay, folks, this is it. She's rolling. Thank you to everybody. You have been great today once again. Abandoned UK. Thank you. Now watch the wings. Camber, as Heathrow was saying, on the 380 wing. See, it's quite droopy at the end there now. Like, watch that outboard section of that wing starting to pick up flex. Now it's almost in line with the inboard sections. Now it'll go beyond it right there on the rotate. Yeah. this coming weekend, ladies and gents. Probably do something with you Friday, I'd imagine. Oh, she's going there. Watch the ailerons, watch the ailerons. Nice, full speed ahead. Yeah! Taking the northern route. Thanks, folks. Look after yourselves. We'll see you in Anchorage. Stay tuned to the app and all the other devices. Do it, I say. Okay, Jimmy. That's all right. Oh, got new members. Wait. James Harrison, we got him, didn't we? I think. Oh no, Brooke Kilvington. Awesome! What a great show. Hilton Garden Inn for all your runway views.